Hey everyone, and welcome to Stock Talk on December 4th. And just note that tomorrow the markets are closed, but we had a pretty big move today, obviously. So let's talk about what happened and what we can expect from here on out. You're looking at, of course, the S&P 500 SPY on the yearly chart, and it was a pretty nasty down move today. Now here's the deal. Okay, here was the resistance 280 to 281, right? And the resistance acted as a resistance this time around. Now, you can imagine at that point, right, the risk is high in terms of any potential upside. We could have broken the resistance, but we didn't. The resistance acted as a resistance. So in this case, we got pushed to the downside. Now, you ask anyone out there, right, did anyone really expect this magnitude of a move down in one day? And let me tell you, the majority of the people, let's say over 90% of the people, would not have said that it would have gone down this much, this quickly. Okay? The indices dropped 3% or more. That's incredible for a one-day move. The magnitude of this candle almost matches the magnitude of our initial drop on October the 10th. That was our initial drop out of the near-term bull market, right? That's troublesome. But what else is troublesome right now is you look at this chart, what kind of pattern are we developing on this SPY chart? Isn't this a bear flag pattern? And this is something I mentioned to members earlier today, right? In the Discord chat group. This is a bear flag pattern. What do bear flag patterns do? They are likely to play out to the downside. So what's the big deal here? Are we still going to get an end of year rally? And the answer is yes, but the question is, from what point are we going to get the rally off of, right? So there's a couple of things I'm looking at. The near-term support, in my opinion, is going to be around 263, around that general vicinity. Whether that holds, we'll have to see really on that day, right? When we get to that day, we'll see if it holds. So we could, one theory is come down, right? And then rally off as a continuation pattern of the bear flag pattern. Okay, that's option number one. Or option number two is, since this magnitude of the sell-off is quite significant, that matches this candle, we could have that bear flag play out first before we have that rally. Now, if we have this play out, just note that the downside target is going to be quite steep, okay? This is a large magnitude of a bear flag, and we could be hitting 250s. Now, that is, in my opinion, the ultimate target for the S&P 500, right? I've had this rectangle, red rectangle up for a while. So that's my ultimate target for a large bear flag pattern once it plays out. But when will it play out? That's the big question for people to answer. Okay, now let me just talk about something else. Here's the 20-period moving average, right? On a normal day, down day, what do you think the 20-period moving average is supposed to do? It's supposed to act as a support. But in fact, we didn't, right? Once again, we closed impulsively below the 20-period moving average. You can say, well, Kevin, didn't we do it here? Yes, we did. But what happened when we closed below the 20? We couldn't recover the 20 and went lower. That's why it's a warning sign. Even though today it was a big drop, it's a warning sign that we could have more drops coming in the future. But whether it plays out next few days, next few weeks, we will really have to take that, in my opinion, on a daily basis, right? So keeping all that in mind, this is the move down. Now, I want to take everyone to the intraday chart just to show you this drop. Can you see that we had a pretty astounding drop followed by another consolidation, and then we ended on pretty much the lows of the day. So can we get a small bounce off of this level tomorrow? Yes, but unfortunately the markets are closed tomorrow. that's what's unfortunate about it, because we fell significantly. Usually we can expect some sort of bounce in the next day, but we can't really trade it, at least the markets. So, you know, we'll have to see in that case, right? All right, so let's take a look at a couple of charts. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, Kevin, hold on a bit. You did a stock talk on the weekend, right? You did a stock talk on the weekend, and I think we did a stock talk on Monday as well. So, or actually, we didn't do one yesterday, but we did one on the weekend. Let's take a look at where we were on the weekend, right? So this is where we were on the weekend, right? It looked nice. It looked fine. And we had a semi-postponement of a tariff. So the markets gapped up. But you can see we hit resistance and sold off of that. At this point, risk is maximum near a resistance level, right? It's easy to say now, I agree, but these boxes have been here for quite a while. So anyways, just want to show you that. Also, guys, if you're interested, I know some people have been asking questions about the course and how it's different from other courses. You know, our group is really a personalized group. You know, we don't have hundreds of members in there. We have a couple of members that are doing pretty well in any kind of market condition. You can imagine in these volatile market conditions, right? It goes up quickly, it goes down quickly. And you can make money, in my opinion, both sides if you get the direction correct. And that's how it is. So check out the course. It's in the description box down below. And of course, hit a like on this video if you enjoyed this video. Highly appreciate it. And once again, thank you everyone for watching and coming back to this channel over and over again. So let's take a look at TVIX, or volatility. So again, here was the deal, right? We left off on the weekend with this down move, and I said it's likely to push lower, but you can see that we gapped lower, but what happened? We actually had a green candle on this day. Well, that works, right? Because the S&P 500 SPY had a red candle. But today what happened was, you can see all of a sudden we moved above the 20, above the 50. Where is it likely to be gravitated towards? The 200, right? Which has been acting as a resistance in the past. So, and the thing about this is, does it have to go there all tomorrow? It doesn't, right? It can take a couple of days, but what you can see is it's going to be gravitating towards the $51 level. That would be, in my opinion, the target for volatility. Okay, so with that, let's take a look at a couple of other charts. We'll start with CL, crude oil futures. So crude oil futures, interestingly enough, you can see on the yearly chart, we went down, 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 and then we hit the support line, right, 49.12, and we did move higher. That was positive, right? It was positive. But the problem with this is we're getting near the 20, right? And we're getting closer to what? To a riskier, in my opinion, long position at this point, right? It's getting risky because when we get near the 20, you can see when we get near the 20, we've gotten rejected in the past. Now, can we come up a little, come down, make a higher low, and then push higher? We can, but we have to see signs of that first. So you can imagine as we near the 20, the risk is getting great in terms of a possible long entry. Right? So 4/CL, I think we're at resistance. This could come down first before it moves higher. So we'll have to monitor that one. Okay? All right, let's take a look at NG. So here's for natural gas, right? Natural gas, and this is something that I've talked about as well, is on the weekend we talked about how natural gas seems to do what? Seems to want to push higher. So you can see here was the start of the month on December 3rd. We pushed lower, but really when I wanted to see push lower, if we were taking a short natural gas position, where do you want to see? You want to see an impulsive move down below the 20. But what happened? When we moved lower, all we headed towards was towards the 20 period moving average before what? Before we recovered a little bit today. So right now, natural gas, in my opinion, is in a wait and see mode. This one could move higher, but we have to let it play out a little bit more. You know, in the past, shorting opportunities were near the resistance, right? 4.84. This resistance line stems from way far back, nearing the upper range of this area. And then, so hopefully everyone sees that as well. Okay, so let's take a look at gold futures. So gold futures, take a look at this. Gold futures today, we closed over my resistance line of 1241 to 1242. So this is actually looking pretty good for gold. So if I take a look at JNUG, let's take a look at JNUG really quick. Today, look at JNUG. What happened? Gold went higher, JNUG didn't move as much. Isn't that interesting? So if you trade the futures, that's fine. If you trade JNUG, look how this is decaying and moving lower, right? So just be careful. While this one is supposed to correlate with the GC, right? It's not exactly doing what it's doing. So hence, you can see that it's above the resistance, and now we expect what? A push higher. So what I'm going to do is the next resistance is going to be around 1262, 1263. So this is looking positive for gold, right? And we would look for confirmation of this as a new support, right? 1241, 1242, and the next resistance around that line, 1263 to 1267. So gold looks good on the near term. And all right, let's take a look at a couple of your comments. We'll start with GERP. Hey, Kevin, thanks for your hard work in addressing all your viewers' points. I'm looking at swing trading. Let's just take a look at your first ticker, which is ATVI. I believe that's Activision. What are your thoughts on price points? I'm using VWAP as a main indicator. So, okay, so, oh, what am I doing? ATVI. So here's Activision. And so what you can see here is that it's still moving lower, right? The problem is it's still moving lower, but you can see that actually in the near term, it could be pushing higher. As a matter of fact, today it attempted to push higher, but because the markets were dropping so heavily, it actually closed near the bottom. But if the markets do start rallying a little bit, this could actually move slightly higher first before another drop. But I like this. This looks like it wants to bottom out for now. So I think short term, it might be okay. But I really would want to correlate this with the markets, right? If the markets aren't pushing higher, look at this, right? Even though today we were supposed to be pushing higher for Activision, it didn't because of market conditions. So just be careful. While I think this has upside potential, it could play out. Might take a little longer to play out. Joe, UWT. I'll take a look at UWT, and thank you for everyone. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. UWT, yeah, so UWT is crude oil bull, right? So we talked about UWT, and we also talked about this in terms of crude oil, right? So UWT, while there is still a little bit more upside to go, if you correlate this with 4/CL, CL's more at resistance. This one looks like it can move higher, so you got to weigh your risk and how much you can make at this point. So. Just note that we do have a gap fill area around 1634, which we haven't hit yet, but we're close by. Okay, and let's see. Paul, Mehdi, Fozzie, Michael, Strajanster, that is mine, Luis, Kwezi, cool. Wow, look at all these comments. Amazing. J.A., I can go on and on about all these comments. Thank you so much for posting these comments, and keep it coming. Happy to take a look at some of the tickers that you guys or girls present. And what we really have to do, in my opinion, just looking at the S&P 500, let me just see how we ended the day. Yeah, so pretty much stagnant from the close. What we really have to do is take this now day by day. Now that we've had a down move, will we close, in my opinion, below 269.50, right? That's our initial first target. If we close down that direction, then we'll look towards 263.84 as the support. But Like I said in the past, this area, if we have a continuation of the bear flag, should hold as a support near term. But again, you got to remember, if we have a Christmas rally, we still have time until Christmas for the markets to drop. Today is only December 4th. Think about that for a moment. One day we drop this much. Today's only December 4th. Can we have a rally off of the 250 level? We can. Really depends on where we are at that time point. Okay, with that, thank you everyone for watching this video. I will see everyone probably sometime later this week. In the meantime, enjoy your day tomorrow. No trading, so take a breather, take a look at the charts, see what you're seeing, perhaps use my analysis and your own thoughts to think about what you want to do in the future. But I think, in my opinion, for the near term, balances will get sold into. Thank you everyone for watching. See you all later. Happy trading.